Happy Sunday, degenerates. Today we are going over the top 10 degenerate funds. We rank them based on yield. I calculate the yield based on the average of the last three payments, and some are monthly. I'll talk about those, but most are weekly. We've got a bunch of new ones. We got 4 new ones in the top 10, and we lost some, so I'll show you those too. But anyway, let's get right to it. Number 10. And again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I do own several of these, but I am not recommending any of them to you. Consult with your financial advisor and do your own research. Number 10. New to the list is TSLW. That is a round hill fund. They trade options on Tesla. Price is $36. Average of the last three payments is 83 cents. That is a 118% yield. By the way, this number down here at 153, that's the average of the 10. I left that so you could see it, but invest in the 10, that's what you're making. Again, not financial advice. Number 9, moved down from number 6. It's in red here. This was their last previous rank. Number 6 in red, which means it went down. They moved to number 9. Who are they? Bitwise, IMST. I own this one. I love it. They're at $32. They're paying, they're monthly. And they're averaging $3.38 per share per month. That is a 124% yield. Again, they make 12 payments, not 13. They're actually monthly. TSLW is weekly, so I've got 52 weeks in here. That's how I get those yields. Number 8, newbie to the group, was unranked. Who could it be? It is MSTW, another round hill. They trade options on strategy, MSTR. They're at $28.67. They're averaging 69 cents weekly. That's 125% yield. Number 7 was number 4. They moved down to number 7. So you saw this last week. SMYY, yield boost. They trade options on SMCI, supermicrocomputer. They price is $25.49. Average 69 cents per week. They're at 140% yield. Number 6, new one to the list. HOOW. And I want to point out this price, $76.70. They launched at $40 in June this year. So last week they were up, I think, to $84. So they had doubled in price, and they're paying massive dividends. Friday everyone was down. They're down to $76, but they're paying $208 per week. That is a round hill fund. That yield is 140%, 140.97. Barely beat SMYY. Number 5, it was previously number 3, moved down a couple spots. Yield boost TSYY. They're at $8, 808. Is that right? Let me check that, because I thought they were down more than that. These are closing prices. This says 747, so that must be an after hours. I only use closing prices, so I'm not going to change that. But anyway, I own this. I love it. They're from Granite Shears Yield Boost. They pay every week. At that price, they're paying 23 cents. If we put in the current price, this yield's even going to be higher. But I've got it at 145. And we'll see what happens next week with that one. Number 4 used to be number 5. They moved up. HOYY, another yield boost fund. They trade options on Robinhood, They're at 23.36. Again, these are closing prices, not after hours on Friday. A lot of them went lower, but they should be pretty consistent here because they all went down on Friday after hours. So Monday we're buying, which is tomorrow. They're at 23.36. They've only paid twice, 66 and 69. That's an average of 68 cents every week. That is a 151% yield. Number 3, used to be number 2, move down a spot. COYY, another yield boost fund. I do own this. I love it. They're at $15.89. They average 50 cents. They declared last week 49 cents. That's payable Tuesday. We'll see. They declare on Thursdays. Ex-date is Fridays. Pays on Tuesdays. And big shout out to Sanita. She loves yield boost. That's a 164% yield. Number 2 used to be number 1. iCoy. This is a Bitwise. It pays monthly. Price is $36. They're averaging $6.40 per share. Their payments have been $9.24, $5.16, $4.79. So that is dropping. They don't declare this coming week, but I believe the following week, the 23rd, I want to say. They declare on Thursdays, I believe. Yeah, Thursdays, ex-date Friday, payable Tuesday. That's a 210% yield. I do own that. I love it. Number 1, new to the list. Shout out to Wolf and Mrs. Wolf, because Wolf knows what this is. Was unranked before. We didn't know about it. We just found out about it last week. I bought shares. I know Wolf bought shares. And we're going to watch this one. It is BITK. That is from Tuttle Capital. They have a bunch of new funds coming. They're not out yet. They're called Income Blast. I love the name. And they trade on IBIT, 0 DTE. They're at $23.96. Average $1. They paid $1.50 and then 50 cents this week. They're weekly. That's a 217% yield. So that's the top 10. I want to give a chart on BitK because they're still above their launch price. They just launched at it's about $23.50, September 24th. They went up. Their high on October 7th was 27. Now they're down to 23. Still above the launch. The launch was, well, 23.46 was the open. 23.96 is the close. But they paid $1 so far. $1.50 cents. If you watch my prediction video yesterday, I predict 60 cents declaring this week. They pay declare Thursday, ex-date Friday, and payday is Monday. So this is my first Monday pair. And if you look at that's BitK, the underlying, the chart looks similar. They started here, up, down. Everything was down. So they're going to follow the underlying. Now, the chart is based on dividend reinvestment, DRIP. These funds are intended for that. If you adjust it this is adjusted for dividends. If I take that off, you'll see more volatile, bigger drops on days. But that's what they're intended for DRIP. I don't DRIP. I manually reinvest. So everything I received last week in payments, I'm BitK tomorrow. And if it continues to pay that kind of yield, which I doubt it will, then we'll keep adding to it. And if it falls off, we'll add to the next number one. And that's what we do. We're for income. I'm just stacking these up till I can retire. I do work full time. And, then we'll move to some safer plays and everything. But I own 17 or 18 of these high yield ETFs. So it is diversified. And there is some YMAX in there and YMAG and IWMY, which is a Russell fund from Defiance. So YMAX is my third biggest position. TSYY is my first. Coney is my second. I still own that. I'm a Coney fan. I'm a Cone head. But, we're keeping an eye on that. We're going to rebalance towards the end of the year. And it's coming up. But so I'm excited to see YieldMax pay the weekly pay. Now that they're, most of them are weekly now, to see how they react to that. And I know you are too. Anyway, have a great day. That's all I wanted to talk about. And let's be careful out there. And we'll see you the next time.